sex, whether it is before marriage, whether it is after marriage, whether it is done during marriage, is no longer a sin. Any preacher saying that sex before marriage is a sin is an enemy of the finished works, and it's not real. If you are just holding yourself saying that you want to, it is when you get married that is when you have sex, you are just holding yourself for nothing. It has nothing to do with holiness, it has nothing to do with righteousness, it has nothing to do with purity, because Jesus already renewing our mind in the understanding of what Jesus has done. If sin has been destroyed, then that means that this sex before marriage that people call sin is no longer a sin because of what Jesus has done on the cross. Sin has died, and so there is no sin anymore, because before God, Jesus has become that Lamb of God that taketh away the sins of the world. He taketh it away completely, so that people can live in a life of liberty and a life of grace. The reason why many people usually say that it should be done in marriage, it is because the act of sex itself, it's a covenant. That is, whenever you have sex with someone, then you enter into a covenant. That is a covenant binding you and that person together. It's a covenant itself. And so, because of their religious mentality in those days, they feel that since this is a covenant, definitely you can only have it with somebody that you have been covenanted with. That is, when you are married to someone, that means you are a covenant with that person. And so they say that is the only person you have to have it with. But that was in religion. That was not in the era of grace. They will say that in religion. But now there is grace, and sin has been crushed, sin has been destroyed. There is liberty and freedom for people. People don't need to wait until they get married before they can have sex, if they understand the finished works of Christ. But for those in religion, they will continue to wait and say that until they get married, that is when they will not have sex. This is nothing but a religious mentality, and God is no longer operating in that dimension anymore. If you are just holding yourself saying that you want to, it is when you get married that is when you have sex, you are just holding yourself for nothing. It has nothing to do with holiness, it has nothing to do with righteousness, it has nothing to do with purity, because Jesus already nullified sin on the cross. He already removed it once and for all, and that is the truth.